For folks. Everybody's well rested, ready to go? Feels good, I like it. All right, we're gonna start this morning working on a vision exercise, working on the tracking component. I'll make a couple examples for you, and then we will chat. That look good to anybody? You guys must be tired. That looked bad, right? Yep. This was the bad example and the thing you must not do. Okay, make another example. Okay, pretty stark difference there, right? All right, the idea here, we're gonna start either the left or right side. I want you to start up relatively near to this barrel, and it's kind of important where you stand. You should be able to see the target on the left and not see the targets in the middle. Like it's easy to step back here where I can see like the first two targets I'm gonna shoot. I don't want you to do that. The idea of the barrel is that it forces you to work to find that spot on the targets. Okay, it looks like a shooting on the move drill, doesn't it? Yeah, but our focus is on the vision piece. It'll be on the targets appearing and disappearing behind the barrels. If you shoot USPSA, how many stages look like this in terms of the skills that you're going to use? Most, yeah, like 75-ish% of the shooting you do in USPSA is the gun stays mounted and you're just kind of walking through the stage, looking around and smacking targets. Is that consistent with your experience, everybody? Yeah. Okay, so this is an important skill. We want to be able to deal with vision barriers well. And again, our focus here is on finding that spot even though the barrel's in the way. Now, here's a question. Should the barrel ever appear clear to me? No, it's this blue blob. I'm not looking at it. I know there's something on the other side that I mean to shoot, and that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for that thing. Okay, so should be a blue blob. I'm not gonna look at it. In a sense, I'm looking for something on the other side. The other thing is, there's a big difference between doing this, where I'm gonna look for the target where I think it is, or this. What difference do you see there? Yeah, exactly. There's guys that focus on like the physical, like I'm here, I'm gonna get over to here as fast as I can, and that's gonna work against you on this exercise. Like trying to move really explosively or slam the gun over to the target, not helpful. It's, as you know, like same theme, look at the spot and trust the gun's gonna go there. The more you tense your body up, the more difficult it is to do that, okay? Does that make sense to everybody? One other thing to pay attention to here, I guess there's two important things. Most people have problems on these middle targets. The middle targets are what challenge most people. Now remember yesterday we had the drill with the targets just set in depth like this, not set laterally apart. Remember how it was difficult to get your eye off of one onto a spot on the other, and you can see the red dot the whole time, and that's very distracting. This is the same thing here. Let me show you what people like to do. All right, that was a very good example of bad shooting. So you saw me shoot the first target, then herky-jerky, like slam the gun to try to get on the second target. There was a delay there as I stabilized the gun on the target because it didn't go right to where I wanted. Stabilized the gun, and then I just started clacking the trigger and pushed the gun to the right or to the left. Like I see brown over there, and I just push the gun over at the brown and clack the trigger twice more, with a miss going off the left side of the second target here. Does that, everybody tracking that? Like you saw that and you're like, that is the stuff to not do. Try to slam, instead of trying to slam the gun where you want, look for a spot on the target. On the first one that you see here, and then on the second one, disconnect from this spot, connect to a spot on the target, and let the gun come over to you so you can get the precision. Okay. Another thing to point out here, if you start seeing shots trending in the direction that you're moving, so look at this, so I'm looking here, going to shoot this target. Now I flip my focus onto the sight. See what happens? The sight tracks off of my target. Now if I keep focused on the target, my sight easily just stays locked onto that spot. See the difference? So if you have hits, if I'm moving to the right and I have hits getting pushed to the right on the targets, probably I'm on the sight. If you're not calling that, like if you're not perceiving that your shots are going to the right, that reinforces the case that you're staring at the sight. Because if you're staring at the sight, it's hard to tell where it is on the target. You just see brown behind it, and you're like, yeah, it looks good. Make sense to everybody? Okay, so again, look at this as a vision thing. Try to move through here fluidly. Let your eyes pick out those spots. The gun will come to you, and when you see that flash of red on the target, smack it. Okay, we have 3 copies of the same thing. It's a good drill to work. You work it left to right, right to left. For whatever reason, people just tend to really get a grasp on target focus when they're doing this drill. All right, let's give it a try.